I love to fish. My earliest memories were catching snapper in Port Phillip Bay, some 40 odd years ago. And today, I've turned that passion into a career. And it's the best job in the world.
This is not for the faint-hearted, I tell you.
On the water, 200 days a year, I get to battle and film some of the biggest fish in the ocean, and then share it in magazines and newspapers and TV shows around the world.
Yes!
But it's not all roses. I have to fish, rain, hail or shine.
Oh God, I'm wet, I'm freezing cold, and I'm loving it! Woo-hoo!
And take on the wildlife to produce the goods.
There's only a million sharks in there, she'll be right.
But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, because there is nothing as exciting as getting up close and personal with big fish, especially when you do it from a trailer bait, a tinny or even a kayak.
Yep, got it. Go McGlashan.
Better still, I get to do it with some of the best fishers in the country.
I'll tell you one thing, no other show goes to this length to catch a fish, and I'll guarantee that.
So join me, Al McGlashan, on a fishing adventure like no other, catching big fish from small boats.
Welcome to Port Stephens. We've travelled a couple of hours up the coast from Sydney, and I'm pretty excited because this is the place where Australia's first marlin was ever caught. A little black marlin just out the front there. And today, it's probably one of the most famous marlin fishing spots in Australia, if not the world. You get a lot of fish, and over the years I've fished this place and had some amazing days, particularly on the car park, and that's where we're headed. We've got 3 days to do it. Hopefully we can catch a black, maybe a blue, maybe a striped. 3 days, I've got to mix the crew, but we're going to go and find a black marlin, striped marlin, blue marlin, you name it. We're going marlin fishing.
We headed wide with a motley crew, Tom, Steve and Nick.
We're on the infamous car park. Got this name because, I'll tell you what, it becomes a car park, especially during tournament time. We are roughly 24 miles south-southeast of Port Stephens, and it's really a nondescript area. It's pretty flat, empty bottom, 80 fathoms, which is 160 metres. Drops off the shelves outside us there, and the bait, for some reason, stacks up here in massive numbers. So that's what we're doing. We're finding the bait, and then we're going to run a couple of liveys around it, and sooner or later a marlin's going to turn up. Hopefully.
Nah. Drops it. Lost it.
Problem with this style of fishing, got to get down. The guys have tangled all the gear up. First time we see the bait that's come up a little bit more intense, and everything's tangled. Because we've got little slimies, we've caught little ones in close, but we need the big ones. They swim better. It's like, a junior burger to a Big Mac as far as the fish are concerned. We want the Big Mac.
And with the lines in, we quickly caught bait.
We can see here we've worked pretty hard today, it's been raining, it's been cold, and the whole time the bait's been flat on the bottom, which is a bad sign. Now, all of a sudden, just started to stack up, the things are looking a little bit more promising. We can get him. No, he's got no bill at all. Look at that! Look at that, absolutely no bill. Oh! You might be over him. Have a look at him. How funny is that? Sea wasn't winding, so it's slack line. The fish has got no bill, And he's got one hook was in the corner, the other one was wrapped up, as you can see, wrapped up on it, tangled up on the other line, and he's jumping around like a madman. As he said, at least we've got a bite. We've been working all day, we've been working so hard. And it's a 1-1-0. So that's marlin fishing, you know. You put in the hours, we end up hooking a few fish. One that, well, certainly billless marlin, jumped around, still fell off, but it's just part of it, you know. This is what you have to do. You have to put in the hours. And the only thing I can say is, just come back out tomorrow and stay attached.
Coming up, Nick hooks up to his first black marlin. Things don't go to plan. Day 2, we're on the water, heading wide again.
Now, you remember Nick? Because he had a kind of an infamous experience on big fish, small boats in season 2. Hooked this beautiful yellowfin, got it right to the boat, a PB I might add, and right at the boat, he kind of decided he'd work for Greenpeace and prematurely let it go. And he's never living it down since. Today, Nick is going to sort it out, and he's going to upgrade with a marlin.
Yeah, excited to catch a marlin, but the yellowfin was hardly my fault. When you're in the front of the boat stuffing around with batteries, camera poles, etc., we could have leaded at least 5 or 6 times.
Excuses.
Got colour. And there's slimies.
Slimies, 1 slimy.
3.
2. These are the ones you want. The slimies? These are the ones you don't want. That's a cow and young. Looks very similar to a yakka. It's like a deep water yakka. You can tell they've got big long fin, massive eyes. Like to the Americans, it's a goggle eye they call them over there. Very similar species. But for us, it's not the right one. So he gets to go home. We want the slimies. Slimies are candy.
Once again, we're back in familiar territory, sitting on the infamous car park, soaking liveys, and waiting for a bite.
There's an old saying in game fishing, hours of boredom, minutes of mayhem. Well, I can tell you what, we're in the hours of boredom bit at the moment. We're just sitting and waiting. We're on the bait, so everything's right. It's just a matter of waiting till that fish turns up. We've got 3 liveys out. We want the minutes of mayhem. That's what we want. Woohoo! Finally! This is persistence. God, you gotta love them. They got that distinct black colour, you know. Woohoo! Go, my little friend.
Here we go.
There you go. Yeah, look at you go.
Sort of too excited for words at the moment. Been sitting out here all day. It's been a long time coming. I wasn't even looking, just heard the ratchet go and then turned around and the rod was just peeling line off. So, first black marlin, almost.
Almost. I haven't
Cool.
got it back.
No, I haven't. First black marlin, so feeling a little bit of pressure.
It's amazing, you know, these black marlin, they're such an awesome creature. Now, we can tell it's a black because his fins are fixed out and they curl around, so at the tips, his pectoral fins, I should say, they curl around at the tips, so it's a striped and a blue marlin are fairly much straight. And these guys, they're fixed in position, so they sit like that. So when you jump or if you drag them in the boat, they sit like that the whole time.
Sort of feels like he's sitting just underneath the boat, maybe about sort of 20 metres down, just sort of cruising. There he is.
Look at him go. They're so spectacular, you little ripper. We were going to give him the harness, make it easier, but the problem with TV, he's got his mic on that side, so bugger him, he can go without.
What an awesome fish.
Oh, this is a TV fish, this one.
Sort of seem to be in a tug of war at the moment. I get a little bit of line back, he gets a little bit of line back.
Well, he's relented. The pain has started to come through, and even though his little mite's down the way, we're still going to put the harness on because he's feeling a bit of pain now.
The weather was deteriorating. And worse still, we just got a message over the radio that a severe front was heading our way.
Well, I tell you what, the stakes have just been increased dramatically. We've just had a storm warning that it's 30 knots and it's gale force and hail and all that stuff you don't want to hear. The rest of the fleet's gone home and we're still hooked up. What do? Do you stay and fight the fish? Do you go? You got to play that safety thing. At the moment, we're staying for the fish. No fleet.
And remember, to get social with big fish, small boats, check out the website bfsb.com.au. Follow us on Facebook or watch all the episodes from past seasons on YouTube. And for the latest fishing reports and pics, check out Al McGlashan on Instagram. Coming up, the weather turns for the worse.
Bend. There. See when you can lift?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that hand can go right over the top of the spool.
Okay.
Wherever you want. Then you can put drag on it and everything.
Yeah. Happy days.
Dr. Al doing the instructions out here. So what he's got now is your harness. So that's put your weight, because your legs down here are massive. Like, look at the size of that. Bit of skin on TV. And if you compare it to your arms, so maybe not my arms, but most people's arms, there's not much in it. So this is where your main core of power is. That's why, and he needs to bend his knees a bit to get more balance, instead of sitting straight. So you sit like that. That's it. And you'll get it. Plus, you're a lot more balanced on the boat. You can see it's a bit of a bumpy day, you know, it's carrying on a bit and stuff like that. And now he can lift up and he can take his hand off the rope. Never do that. Don't put your hand there. One thing, you've got your harness there. You can adjust it real easy like that, and then you can fight the fish. There you go. Do that, and you'll catch more fish with a complete angle.
Nick battles to stay on his feet, let alone fighting the fish.
He's straight under the boat, Al.
Don't worry about the massive storm that's coming. It's going to kill us all, but you just focus on that fish.
Just trying to focus on not falling over. He's coming to service.
Oh, he's still jumping, no way! That's great, mate. Now he's got it. You can just see how he's just got that head. There's that line. Well, now it's come to the next level. You can see it's getting dark. We put the lights on, pouring with rain. Still hasn't got it up. Starting to be that question. Do we keep going? Do we stop? Nah, we'll keep going. We've got to clean the lens anyway.
Forward, Al, forward, forward, forward. He's just here, Al.
Yeah, rightio. Just can't see with anything with the angle. Bring him up. Right, it's a bit bigger than we thought.
Okay. Gimbal off. What do you want me to do, Al?
Grab a glove on the chair, and you can come and hold him. Have a look at that for a beautiful fish. That's a hard fish to catch. Man, that is beautiful. Grab onto that pill.
Got him.
Right, you got him?
Yeah.
We'll just pop this hook out. Got it. Right, hook's out. So you got him?
Yeah, I got him.
Rightio. All right. What do you reckon we let that beautiful fish go?
3, 2,
Out of gear, Tristan.
1. There he goes.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Now that was one hard-earned fish, mate.
That was unbelievable.
It's rainy, it's wet, it's cold. Look, I'm going to put the door back in just before we lose the cameraman in the process. The camera's wet, but we came out, we worked so hard, we did the hours, and I tell you what, it was one stubborn fish. Woohoo! Going home for a beer.
Unbelievable.
Well, with our job done, it was time to get the hell out of there and run for the hills before that storm got any worse. But with 30 miles to go, there was one option, and it was to tuck in behind Scotty on the Freedom and get a comfortable ride home. Make yourself the complete angler by winning the ultimate fishing prize. A bluefin drifter 3.8 with front casting deck and full floor. sitting pretty on a Dumbia trailer. Powered by a 2-stroke 15 horsepower outboard motor. And better still, there's $2,000 worth of awesome Shimano fishing gear to get you hooked up to that big fish out of a small boat. Plus there's an inshore safety equipment kit and comprehensive boat insurance with the boys at Club Marine. And it's all registered. That's $10,000 worth of prizes. And it's easy to enter. Just buy any product from The Complete Angler for your chance to win. And for full terms and conditions, visit CompleteAngler.com.au. The Complete Angler, supplying fishermen with the complete fishing experience since 1967.
It's a blue!
Coming up, it goes from black to blue. Day 3 and we're back out in the water again. Only this time Phil Bolton have joined Nick and I. And if there's one thing Phil wanted, it was to tag and release a blue marlin.
Well, the something about marlin fishing, you know, you just keep trolling and trolling and keep working and working, and then the boat next to you hooks up. You can see the guys behind us on Real Diamond there. They hook a fish, our baits go ignored. But it's all part of it, and it's a numbers game. You just keep going and going, because you will get a bite, hopefully. Bloody mongrels.
And once again, when you least expect it, bang, you're on.
Oh, yeah. There he's right there on the surf, just there. Walking around, Phil, walk around.
Where is he? Which way?
Just here to the right, just there. He'll be right. I reckon it could be a little baby blue.
I think it's a blue.
It is, it's a blue. Woohoo! We got a blue.
Turn him out. It's a blue. Yeah. Where he is now. He's coming under us, he's coming under us.
Where are you?
We're all right, we're all right.
How good's that? You said straight past the boat. What do you mean which way? Turn around. It was just that sibling. Yep, blue marlin. How exciting is this? You know, we've done 3 days and that's what we wanted to show you how hard it is. You know, the first day we got a couple of bites. We had that poor old marlin with no nose. Jumped, fell off, you know, but that's marlin fishing. Then we got Nick, his first black marlin, you know, jumped and it was cloudy and it was getting a bit dodgy out there, but we got the fish. And today, we've started with a blue marlin and it's a sunny day. That's what I love about offshore fishing.
So the angle's getting better, although he's taking line again now. All right, angle's getting better still. She's coming right up here. She's going to be in the waves in a minute.
Grab the leader, mate. Grab the leader. Wait, I want you to walk down that way. All right, she's all right. Come on. Yeah.
And with the fish tail wrapped, we work quickly to revive it and get that tag in.
Yes! Yes!
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Well
Thanks,
done.
mate.
Blue marlin, it's your first one you've seen. First one this year. Well, first marlin this year.
First marlin this year.
How good is
Fantastic.
that?
I can't believe it.
And that bite just comes in, bang, yeah, straight it off. Should have seen poor old cameraman Dean, who's just behind the camera right there, has gone, get the gear ready, run around, and the fish just goes boom past the boat, and we're like, oh, it's a stripe. And it just goes, nah, it's a blue. What do you reckon, 110?
110, 120. We'll check in the charts in a minute.
Yeah, measured out.
Yeah, it measured 2 metres 30, so we'll see what that goes, but it'll be around 120, 130, something like that, I think.
And now, we put a new tag in it. Now, we've explained in the past about putting tags in fish, but this is a new type of tag you've got, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a new type of tag that's been worked on. It's removed the weak link, which was the link between the tag head and the streamer. Now the streamer goes straight onto the tag head, so we think that's going to stay in the fish a bit longer, gives us a better chance of getting recaptures coming through.
Beautiful. And we should also show what we caught it on.
Circle hook, 9/0 circle hook, hooked perfectly in the corner of the mouth. The fish screamed off and just locked up the drag on it and we were away. No messing around, it was just ripping line off. So it was obviously got the bait, put her up to lock and we were on.
There was no messing around. This thing was just screaming off, and that's what's so awesome about blue marlin. Now, we've caught a striped. We've caught a black. we've caught a blue. The most common of all, the stripe, it's the only one we haven't caught. And that's what it is, persistence for 3 days, everyone catches a fish except me. Hey,
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it every time, isn't it?
That's not fair at all. Thanks, mate. Well, I tell you what an amazing 3 days. You know, we came to Port Stephens to catch a marlin, ended up catching a couple of them. But I tell you what, we earned those fish. We battled the odds. And that day 2 with that weather, that was insane. But we caught that first black for Nick, caught a blue marlin for Phil. Absolutely sensational stuff. But I tell you what, the best part was we let him go. That way, you can go back out and maybe you can catch them. But as for me, it's time to clean the boat. Ay, ay, ay. Now, there are 3 tips I can offer thanks to Club Marine magazine. First and foremost, when you're chasing marlin with live bait, use circle hooks. Not only is it better for the fish, but it also gives you a much better hookup rate, as you saw when we caught them. Secondly, use your sounder. Get your Farino in there and really tune it up so you can see the bait. It's all about the bait. Find the bait and you'll find the fish. And finally, and this is the most important, if you catch a blue marlin, striped marlin, black marlin, and it comes up tail wrap, grab it by the bill and run it for a while beside the boat. Get the water running back through it, give it a chance to revive, because if it survives, you might catch it again in the future.